Crysis dropped in November 2007, and to be honest, my PC couldn't run it, and most likely yours couldn't either, because this game required hardware from 2012 to run properly in 2007. But what's certain, it changed everything about what PC graphics could achieve, and spawned the greatest meme in PC gaming history. Crytek, a German studio that made one game called Far Cry and immediately sold the IP to Ubisoft like idiots, decided their next game would melt graphics cards for sport. They built CryEngine 2 assuming Moore's Law would continue forever. CPUs would hit 10 GHz by 2010, they thought. Single-core performance would keep doubling. They were spectacularly wrong, and the game ran like shit on everything for 5 years. And honestly, but Can It Run Crysis became more famous than the actual game. That's both an achievement and a tragedy. Crysis 2007, the beautiful slideshow that destroyed GPUs. Crysis launched November 2007 and was simultaneously the best-looking and worst-running game ever created. You played as Nomad, part of Raptor Team, Delta Force operators wearing nanosuits that cost more than the GDP of small countries. The suit had 4 modes: maximum armor, tank mode; maximum speed, cocaine mode; maximum strength, yeet enemies mode; and cloak, predator mode. Switching between them with the radial menu while screaming maximum armor became gaming's most satisfying power trip. The story? North Koreans found aliens frozen in ice on the Lingshan Islands. That's literally it. General Kyung was the stereotypical evil Korean general. The aliens were squids that froze everything. Prophet got tentacled and disappeared. Psycho was British and said mate every sentence. The plot was an excuse to showcase graphics tech that wouldn't be standard for a decade. But holy shit, those graphics. Real-time ambient occlusion, object motion blur, volumetric clouds, parallax occlusion mapping, subsurface scattering on skin. Crytek threw every experimental rendering technique at the screen. You could shoot individual leaves off trees. Every tree. In a jungle with millions of leaves. The physics calculations alone murdered CPUs. The first level, Contact, where you infiltrate the beach at dawn, watching the sun rise through volumetric fog while every palm frond swayed independently, that was 2007's next-gen moment. Then the frame rate tanked to 15 frames per second because your 8800 GTX couldn't handle it. The game was literally unplayable at max settings on hardware that didn't exist yet. The Ice Sphere alien ship section was genius. Zero-gravity combat with frozen environments. The VTOL flying section was ass. Terrible controls fighting terrible alien AI. The final boss, a giant alien warship, was defeated by shooting it with regular bullets for 20 minutes. Anticlimax defined. But here's the thing about gameplay. When it worked, nothing touched it. Grabbing a Korean soldier by the throat, switching to maximum strength and throwing him through a building never got old. Cloaking past patrols or going full predator, picking them off one by one. Punching chickens into orbit. Using strength mode to jump onto roofs, then ground-pounding enemies. The sandbox destruction where you could level entire villages with C4, or drive jeeps off cliffs into enemy camps. The multiplayer was dead on arrival. Power struggle mode, capturing alien crash sites for resources, was ambitious but required 32 players, and nobody had PCs that could run it. Instant action was just deathmatch with nanosuits, destroyed by hackers immediately. Sales? 3 million copies, but everyone pirated it to benchmark. Metacritic? 91. Would have been higher if reviewers' PCs could run it. It proved PC gaming could still push boundaries console games couldn't dream of. It also proved Crytek had no idea how hardware evolution actually worked. Crysis Warhead, 2008. The apology that actually worked. Warhead released September 2008 as a standalone expansion that ran better and played better than the original. Playing as Psycho during the events of Crysis, you got the other side of the island's story. While Nomad was dicking around in the alien ship, Psycho was pursuing a captured alien through the best set pieces in the series. That train sequence where you're manning AA guns against alien fighters, the hovercraft chase across frozen seas, the minecart escape, every moment was Michael Bay directing a video game. Crytek Budapest developed this, and they actually understood optimization. Same graphics quality, 35% better performance. They realized nobody had quantum computers from 2020, so they coded for 2008 hardware. Revolutionary concept. The story was better because Psycho had personality. Jason Statham energy versus Nomad's cardboard protagonist syndrome. O'Neill, your pilot buddy who washes out of Raptor Team, added actual human drama. Colonel Lee was a better villain than General Keong because he had motivation beyond "be evil Asian stereotype." The container MacGuffin driving the plot made more sense than "aliens woke up, I guess." New weapons slapped. The dual-wield SMGs turned you into John Woo. The Plasma Accumulator Cannon, PAX, was a shotgun that shot alien energy. EMP grenades disabled nanosuits, finally countering those multiplayer assholes who only used cloak. The revolver was Desert Eagle powerful, but actually looked cool. They made the game more linear but better paced. The original had massive dead zones where nothing happened. Warhead was constant action but still allowed approach variety. Stealth was viable, assault was viable, or you could just throw explosive barrels at everything. They listened to criticism and fixed it. Crysis Wars came bundled. The multiplayer nobody asked for but was actually decent. Better netcode, better balance, better maps. Still dead within months because the community was playing COD 4 and nobody wanted to upgrade PCs for multiplayer Crysis. Sales? 1.5 million. Less marketing, standalone confusion. Reviews? What Crysis should have been. It proved Crytek could optimize when they tried. They just usually didn't try. Crysis 2, 2011. The console sellout that killed PC gaming. Crysis 2 launched March 2011 and betrayed everything that made Crysis special to run on Xbox 360. New York City, 2023, alien invasion, virus outbreak, evil PMC corporation called Cell. You played as Alcatraz, a Marine who gets the nanosuit 2 from Prophet, who shoots himself in the head immediately. The suit talks now because Prophet's consciousness is stored in it. Yes, it's stupid. Yes, it's trying to be Halo Cortana. No, it doesn't work. Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack, which was the best part. The main theme slapped harder than it had any right to. Everything else? Consolification disaster. The levels were corridors. Gone were the massive open jungles. New York was narrow streets with waist-high cover everywhere. The nanosuit was simplified. No more speed mode, strength integrated into movement. Hold space to super jump. Console players couldn't handle 4 modes apparently. Maximum dumbing down. The graphics were complicated. CryEngine 3 was technically superior, but artistically inferior. Everything was gray concrete and brown rubble. The urban jungle marketing was lies. It was urban corridor. They bragged about tessellation on concrete barriers while removing destructible environments. Priorities. The story tried so hard. Richard Morgan, Altered Carbon author, wrote it. Hargreave, the 200-year-old Illuminati guy in a life support tube, was interesting. The Ceph redesign from ice squid to generic biomechanical humanoids was not. The virus subplot went nowhere. Alcatraz being mute while everyone called him Prophet was confusing. The ending where you become Prophet completely was franchise suicide, killing your protagonist off-screen between games. Multiplayer was Call of Duty with nanosuits. Kill streaks, progression unlocks, tiny maps. It was competent but soulless. PC players hated it for being consoleized. Console players ignored it for Call of Duty. Congratulations, you pleased nobody. The PC version launched without DX11, despite being marketed as the DX11 showcase. They patched it in 3 months later. The Ultra settings were worse than Crysis 1's high. Texture resolution was quartered. FOV was locked. No prone. Leaked beta builds ran better than retail. Modders fixed it within weeks. Crytek never did. Sales, 3 million. Metacritic, 84. Console journalists couldn't compare to PC Crysis. It made money, but killed the soul. Every PC gamer's fear about consolification came true. Crysis 3, 2013. The desperate attempt to please everyone. Crysis 3 released February 2013, trying to combine Crysis 1's openness with Crysis 2's accessibility, and failed at both. New York, 2047, now inside a giant dome with 7 distinct biomes called the 7 Wonders. Urban rainforest, they promised. We got slightly larger corridors with grass. Prophet is back, fully integrated with the nanosuit, hunting the Alpha Seth while Cell controls the world's power supply. It's Avatar meets Hunger Games meets nothing interesting. The Predator bow was genius. Stay cloaked while shooting explosive arrows. Different arrow types, electric, thermite, airburst, added variety. Using it felt perfect, like Crytek remembered they made good gameplay once. Everything else felt focus-tested to death. The graphics were insane again, but nobody cared. Can it run Crysis 3? Didn't hit the same. Everyone could run it because it was optimized for consoles first. Grass density that would have melted 2007 PCs ran fine on 2013 hardware because Crytek finally discovered LOD scaling. The campaign was 5 hours. 5. The dam mission was cool, flooding the valley to destroy Cell forces. The field of grass where you hunt Cell like Predator was the only true sandbox level. The final boss was another giant alien you shoot for 20 minutes. They learned nothing. Psycho returned, but without his nanosuit because Cell skinned him. Michael Psycho Sykes became British Cockney Marcus Phoenix, bald and angry. His torture scene was genuinely disturbing. His relationship with Prophet was the only emotional beat that landed. The ending, where Prophet flies into space, shoots the Alpha Ceph warship, and becomes human again, was incomprehensible. 20 years of nanosuit evolution storyline concluded with, and then magic happened. The epilogue on the beach with Prophet walking into the sunset screamed, "We have no idea how to end this." Multiplayer was dead within months. Hunter mode, asymmetric Predator gameplay, was innovative but needed players. It didn't have players. The PC community was gone. Console players had moved to next-gen. Sales, 2.5 million. EA barely marketed it. Reviews, pretty but pointless. Crytek's CEO said it was a financial failure. The franchise died here. Crysis Remastered Trilogy, 2020 to 2021. The cash grab nobody asked for. Crysis Remastered launched 2020 on Switch first, because nothing makes sense anymore. Saber Interactive, not Crytek, ported the Xbox 360 version, not PC, and enhanced it. The Switch trailer got roasted so hard they delayed other platforms to fix it. Can it run Crysis? Yeah, on Switch. Yeah, on Switch, at 720p at 30 frames per second. The meme was dead. They added ray tracing that nobody could run, 8K textures nobody could see, and removed Ascension level completely. Technical issues, apparently. The original still looked better with mods. They charged $30 for inferior versions of 13-year-old games. Crysis 2 and 3 Remastered followed, equally pointless. No multiplayer because servers cost money. No mod support because effort. Just straight ports with slightly better textures and ray tracing that destroyed performance for minimal visual gain. Sales. Enough to fund Hunt Showdown updates. Reception. Why? The trilogy exists to milk nostalgia from people who remember when Crysis mattered. Crysis 4, TBA, the comeback nobody believes in. Announced January 2022 with a teaser showing nothing. It's coming was the entire marketing. Crytek says it's returning to the roots, which they've said about every game since Warhead. New engine, CryEngine 5.7. New team, everyone talented left. New publisher, unclear, probably self-published. 4 years in development, 0 gameplay shown. It'll either revolutionize graphics again or be another corridor shooter. Probably both, somehow. The legacy. Looking back, Crysis was a technical achievement searching for a game. It proved PC gaming could push boundaries consoles couldn't touch, then immediately abandoned that vision for console money. Can it run Crysis? Became gaming's longest-running meme, outliving the franchise itself. The nanosuit's maximum callouts are more memorable than any character or story beat. The series sold 15 million copies but feels forgotten compared to contemporaries like Call of Duty 4 or BioShock. Crytek now makes Hunt Showdown, a genuinely good extraction shooter nobody plays. CryEngine powers games you've never heard of. The studio that defined PC graphics supremacy became another developer chasing trends. Current status. Your RTX 4090 can finally run Crysis at 8K 144 frames per second. 13 years too late for anyone to care. And honestly, the real tragedy isn't that Crysis failed. It's that nothing replaced it. Nobody makes fuck your hardware this is the future games anymore. Everyone optimizes for console baseline. PC gaming won the war, but lost its exclusive showpieces. The suit should have said maximum disappointment by the end. But those graphics, though...
Oh, beautiful.